out already. So
Pos
never
5
mind.
Darkseer. There you go.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. They might just put the Tiny in the Darkseer in his lane and just play it that way. It's an option.
I still got some wiggle room here. Like,
yeah. At least we see the respect ban here on the Terrorblade from
yeah,
that
but
last
they
performance.
didn't respect ban the Void or the
Ooh,
Spectre.
and that's a snappy Spectre pick right after the Magnus there.
Mizink, the Kuman, was wanting this hero. Our boy likes illusions.
Yeah, I mean the Kuman Spectre. It's not a Kuman Terrorblade, but
do we just have like an
it's not
intro
a Kuman
around
Terrorblade,
Kuman?
okay?
It's like a discussion of the Kuman, and then insert hero name here.
It's
Just
not
like
as Terrorblade,
file.
but it's not bad. On the other side though, there's this anti-mage with the Magnus there, the classic, the free Battle Fury. You probably still go for Battle Fury like nowadays, I want to say, but with the nerfs to the cleave and everything. But yeah, I mean it definitely helps speed up your farm quite a bit. The Spectre there was very snappy though. And it's like I'm curious if they're gonna pick it almost regardless of what was picked there.
I feel like Darkseer
And
unlocks Spectre's early game presence a lot as well, right?
yeah, to some extent. However, the thing is though, I remember we saw this. This was I think it was Navi played this against some team. They played this Magnus Rubik into a Spectre. Some team early picked the Spectre and they played this Rubik Magnus. And this is something that I've mentioned before, is that when you have the Spectre hero, I feel like the weakness of this hero is the fact that her base damage is kind of garbage. You don't really want to play on a lane where you're trying to kill the Spectre because dispersion just makes it difficult. And Spectre out tanks most things, but when you play this lane where Fadebolt negates some of the Spectre's already low damage and Magnus can increase his own with Empower, I think this is the most efficient way to play against Spectre, kind of just out CSing in her in the lane.
Yeah, actually, I think you're right. I think it was we watched Funnick on the Magnus.
It was Funnick.
Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't
and
Navi. It was a
they
different team.
completely demolished. It was Hellraisers. I
Yeah,
can't remember their
they
opponent, but they
whomped
destroyed
them.
them.
Yes. Yeah, it was a big beating.
I don't know what the laning partner. I can't remember what the laning partner was for the Spectre in that game, but like in terms of sustain or turnaround, I'm not sure if Grimstroke gives you that against
No,
these two.
Grimstroke does not offer all that much. I mean, you could try to play on kills against the Rubik somehow, but it's gonna be very difficult. I think I quite like what Omglil have here. The one thing is that they have this Venge with the anti-mage, and this lane is also it is not a strong lane. I mean, Venge does not offer that much to aid the anti-mage, so I'm not entirely sure what this early Venge pick is about, but maybe we'll find out here.
All right, hear me out. Hoss free Venge, Magnus 2.
Yeah, but I
Screw what
kind
we
of
were
want
saying
the
about how
Magnus
great
Rubik.
Spectre gets screwed over by the Magnus. Screw all
Yeah, but
that.
I really want this Magnus Rubik
You know
lane,
what? Sometimes we don't get what we
Maybe
want in
it's a
life like that.
Thompson position too vengeful.
There we go.
Maybe
That's
where
true.
it's at.
The I can die and it doesn't matter, Omega lol, I just still fight and you can't beat me. Yeah, I love seeing that. It's totally reasonable. It's not going to get nerfed soon. Actually, I don't think it will. I feel like we're past that hurdle of Venge being in every game now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's okay. We'll have to see, right, from this last pick, I think. This is either going to be an offlaner or a mid hero coming out of Cyber Legacy right now. They banned out the TA Dragon Knight, so they're suspecting it's going to be a mid hero, and this looks like... Huh?
Nani?
Nani? Whoa. What is this?
We're sharing the thoughts here.
Why is there a guy with a briefcase in the game?
Because he means to do business. Cyber Legacy is sick of their name. They've realized that business associates, there's no NA team. Step one is getting a suitcase.
I'm not a huge fan of this pick, I think.
No.
I feel like this is a fairly... I mean, this is a very good anti-mage game, I think. Especially now, like, with the Elder Titan. Elder Titan doesn't really do anything to anti-mage. Yeah, maybe you can slap him a bit in the lane, maybe there's some sort of...
With the Iron Shell as well, right? It's not too bad. Okay, no, I got that. Hold on, let me just switch on my brain. Okay, you can't leave this thing on for too long or it overheats. All right, so there is a Magnus and an Anti-Mage. They both like stacks. Vengeful Spirit is very good at stacking, so ET intends to use the stacking of his opponent against them.
Ooh, I see. Yeah, I mean,
Am I reaching?
most likely, I'm assuming this is gonna be just like a Darkseer ET lane.
Yeah, it's not
And they're
bad.
just gonna try to slap the anti-mage because the Venge, he just doesn't offer that much, so it will be difficult for the anti-mage to trade. And they're gonna try to pressure him that way. And yeah, just another tiny mid. I don't know. I kind of like what Omglil have going here. They also with the last pick. I mean, of course, it depends on what they end up picking here. It's they know it's gonna be either an Elder Titan or a Tiny, so it's gonna be a melee hero.
I feel
So I
like
feel
they
like you have
were nunnied as well alongside us because they're eating all their time trying to work
yeah.
this one out. Okay,
Okay,
so
I
Sand King 3.
Sand King.
Yeah, 3. I
Okay.
mean, it's not a bad replacement for the Magnus in terms of pressure on the Spectre, right? Like, Sand King loves going up against melee heroes.
Yeah, I just feel like this becomes kind of pointless. I think Spectre really enjoys playing against Sand King in the lane. Sand King pushes the lane with either Sandstorm or Caustic, and so Spectre just gets the wave under a tower. Whereas Magnus, yes, you can push the lane, sure, with your Empower and hits and everything, but at least you have a lot of damage, so you can out CS the Spectre in the lane. Whereas the Sand King, you just pressure, you kill the creeps, and the Spectre after that can just farm under his own tower. And uh, there had to have been a better pick there. I feel like the Magnus was totally fine
I mean,
in
like,
the offlane there.
I mean, if you didn't want to have him in the off lane, do you think there was still better picks? Maybe something like a Beastmaster or something that can apply more pressure to the spec instead
Yeah,
of,
definitely, definitely. I would much rather seen a Beastmaster rather than the Sanking now.
especially with this lineup, like Magnus plus Anti-Mage, the Empower with the attack speed aura, and the
Yeah,
Vengeful Spirit?
I feel like that last pick makes no sense to me. I mean, the one thing about having a beast, picking beast into Darkseer is always spooky. Just the matchup is it's a very in the game favored matchup for the Darkseer, as you kind of like Darkseer makes so that the lanes are always pushing and Beast wants his lanes to be pushed, and also you get the inner Beast aura from the wall, and yeah, it's just not it's a kind of a nasty matchup, but I don't know about the Sankey, man.
Maybe they were like, all right, this Elder Titan pick is so funky. How can we funkanize our draft as well?
I mean, maybe they're gonna do some. I mean, by the looks of what this anti-mage, he just looked like he was going towards the bottom lane. I'm just thinking the Sanking is up top, so maybe they're gonna try to put the Sanking up top against the Darkseer ET, and then they're gonna send the anti-mage
We're
kind
gonna
of
bait with it.
aggressively with the Rubik and the Venge or something.
Well, it looks like they're trying to bait on the lanes, right? So they'll show Kellen top, they'll hide
Right.
Sanking completely, then they'll
Yep.
waddle
Yep.
across.
Yep. Yeah, and I think this, if anything, at least this makes more sense to kind of to do this lane swapper brew, as the Rubik provides a lot for this lane, but I'm not sure how these lanes go, to be honest. I could see them go either way. I mean, the ET can be very strong in these type of lanes.
Yeah, it seems like Cyber Legacy are interested in the idea of forcing a tri lane, and you can see why, right? With the Astral Spirit plus the like Inkswell potential at 2, they could just run Omega all over at laning phase if they can force that.
Yeah, they're gonna scout out this anti-mage now, and I'm curious if they're gonna keep these lanes or they're gonna switch. What's happening here? As for the mid lane, this is just one of those, two heroes with the exact same base damage. Magnus has better armor. They're both kind of slow attack speed. I expect both of these heroes to just farm. Like Tiny could maybe try to toss him into the tower when you can just skewer out. So this is just gonna be another one of those two melee bros just sitting and farming.
They are more or less the same hero in this regard. Both got the cleave, both scaled decently well for farming purposes. Of course, Magical has a bit more ganking potential compared to the Sunlight Magnus.
I'm not sure what the Venge is doing up here though. I mean,
Just give them the
at this
clicks.
rate, the anti-mage is gonna get completely bullied, and
That's one way of looking at it. Yeah, he's definitely soaking the mana pool of his opponents. Usually anti-mages do that by bleeding it, not by letting spells be cast on them. Not many other options for him right now, though.
this is a very strange kind of start to this game.
I mean, like, Blizzard's just going to get 2, and then you don't ever pressure him. Like, please go help your anti-mage. Think of his CS. He's thinking about him. He's dreaming about him, but he's not getting any. I can already hear the shaking from Pycat's fists. Watching a POS one player being thrown under the bus like this.
I mean, if that were me, I would be just, you know, like, guys, come on.
You'd be Steam messaging for new teammates. You're like, boys, we're free
Yeah, I mean,
agent.
and now we're seeing now the anti-mage has decided that, no, I've had enough. I wasted 2 tangos and a salve, and I got, what? He got like 40 XP?
Wait, yeah, he didn't even get CS. He got the CS when he came top, so... Well, I'm glad they've switched this up. The problem is if now your opponents just mirror that because you TP'd first.
Yeah, and you also just gave the Spectre this amazing start for no reason. He now has, you know, he has very good CS already. He has some nice levels. He's gonna have soon the wand and a Wraith Band flying out soon. Or, well, walking out.
Maybe Kellen is so good at anti-mage, similar to our whole Kuman Terrorblade thing, that he thought it was unfair to play without a handicap.
Right, yeah. No, he wanted the Darkseer to have a better time, and yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe. Probably not. You can't even bleed loads of mana off these guys. They've used their own mana pools of their own accord now at this point, so harassment-wise, you're not going to even trade effectively. I actually love how much pressure they're putting on him under the tower. Actually, Lizzie's like, yep, there's no sort of trade with me, so all you've got to do is focus on CSing. And I'm not.
Yeah, and it's also awkward for him since he lost so much regen and didn't get any farm. He now has no real money or levels, so he has this one salve flying out, but he's gonna be needing quite a bit of regen in this lane. On the upside, at least the Magnus is doing very well in the mid lane. He's beating the Tiny by quite a bit.
Of course, the thing for Tiny is, while it's nice to get the early goal with like getting just the XP to get the levels in Avatos, you can then unlock your potential to rotate from that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the difference... Oh.
No.
Okay. Yeah,
Sunlight's like, you want to fight?
Yeah, he could have even potentially skewered him in there.
Thought about going for the Shockwave. Problem was he didn't have the mana for both.
Yeah, the thing is, like in this lane, is that the Magnus, he has this cleave, right? I mean, they both have the cleave, but Magnus has quite a bit of armor.
More or less.
And Tiny has no armor. And this rune could be quite big here, depending on who gets it. Ooh.
Ooh. Go, Sunlight, go! Fly like the wind. And he should be able to get the regen. It'll get cancelled instantly, but it's more magical now not having his bottle refilled.
Yeah, and magical... This has to be quite annoying when you invest in this very early bottle and you don't get this rune here.
No, and my concern is kind of growing in the... Actually, I don't think it is. Like, I'm going to counter on my own statement of the AM is still, like, head in the mud. What is he doing in this game? You don't really need magical to rotate in this game. Like, if he has a crap lane, it doesn't matter. You've won the other two.
Yeah, I mean, this whatever started was that they did this, and this is also looking like... Okay, at least it's gonna be a dead courier, maybe. And we're gonna have a pause. I mean, that's a dead courier if I've...
1 minute silence for the courier.
Or is he hitting the Venge?
It looks like it's hard to tell at this point, isn't it?
Yeah, I kind of feel like he's maybe just hitting the Venge.
He's hitting the Venge. He's like, if he... this is why they have showcase mode. If you have a look...
Oh, yeah?
You can very clearly see his red orb is heading straight for the Venge's face. All right?
Okay.
We'll make collision in 3, 2, 1. There we go.
Yeah.
Most underwhelming animation in the end. Darara able to move away, but the stroke of fate through slows him enough that Kuman gets the kill. And Malik actually needs to be careful as well. He could go down. He's got the stick, so maybe he gets Slayer, but if he goes for it, he's not going to get out himself is the problem. And I don't think he's even going to get the kill.
Yeah, and you've just given this incredible start to the Spectre here.
No, just Spectre. A Kuman.
To the Kuman Spectre. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, he gets like this the free like the first few waves he gets this free lane and now a free double kill kind of, and I'm just not sure what this. To me, like the draft was already very nicely done by Omglil there, and then just the Sanking comes out, and I'm just not sure what the idea behind it was.
Not really sure either. Like, especially considering their start. Like this is such a big brain plan that I wonder if it's kind of gone full circle. Because the Sand
Yeah.
King alone is one thing, but the way they open this game up, I think the word is perplexing. That'll be the word of the day. It's a big word.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you're big on the big words, aren't you?
Hey, gotta look smart somehow. I mean, you give the professional analysis. I throw the English dictionary at people.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's not as nice as it sounds.
So the anti-mage is now, he's slowly kind of recovering a little bit. He's finding some footing in this lane. He's got the ring of health. He's eating, he's munching on one of them tangos right now.
So it was the handicap start. I see.
It was all along. He just knew that the game would be too easy otherwise.
Of course, because you know, I mean, he's got the cool looking skin. His AM versus the dark seer. Like, what's to worry about? And even if you don't get a good time in your Battle Fury, you can make Sunlight follow you around like some sort of servant.
Yeah, and despite the fact that they did give this very good start over to both Kuman on the Spectre and kind of they make Helen's game much harder, they do have this Magnus, and he's doing very well in this early laning stage. And I also think he has some potential here to scale quite well in this game.
Almost definitely so. Like, when you compare the two sides, you know, Tiny, the way it's built now, it kind of reaches I want to say, like a peak point, right? Whereas, think about Mega Lil's draft. Like, they don't have to worry about an initiation Magnus build necessarily because they're the Sand King for that. So they could always go for this kind of double right click, this double primary core team comp on the side of a Mega Lil.
Yeah, exactly. And on the Cyber Legacy, this is gonna be pretty much, you know, it's gonna be have to be the Kuman show in terms of carry potential here.
But he identifies he needs to be involved in early fights. And whoa, boy, calm down with the breathing. All right, I know you're a Kuman fan, but
Sorry, heavy breathing.
it's definitely showing. Horn in the mid lane on the Sunlight. Skewer is going to take the Spectre with him, though. Has to throw out the RP with the Avalanche. Oh, no. Oh, and look at that. Convenient item. I'm out of mana. Let me just find an Arcane Ring.
I mean, he's having what an amazing start.
He got money.
1,000
he
gold
got a
ahead
lot of
of
money.
Magnus. That is one rich Spectre.
He's going to get richer. Thinks well. And the Starstark Malik, he needs to actually try and move away, but instead he hangs around too long, and Slayer does get that kill, but Kuman better hit creeps afterwards, and he's just inflating his gold further as he hits the 4k net worth mark before the 9-minute mark. Ooh, lordy.
Oh lordy lord.
Oh, lordy, lordy, lord.
The classic 400 GPM at 8 minutes.
Very spicy. Bignum. He's not quite giving over a freebie. They bait Kellen in because Magical, he's on point with these rotations. He was just bought. You wouldn't have expected him right here afterwards, but he's here with the Iron Shell just chasing down Dire. He's like, hit me. I want you to hit me. And we had to find him with the Avalanche. He's moving, trying to make sure he gets the kill. Club to the face. Now he can turn around because he saved the Avalanche toss to kill off Lil as well. Bye. Okay, so you know how we were concerned about the Kuman free start?
Yeah.
I'm kind of concerned about the Tiny now. Do you have a helpline I can call?
Yes, hello. This is helpline.
Yeah, so I'd like to report a crime. I believe there is some violent acts happening. Cyber Legacy seem to be killing corpses.
Yes, hello. This is helpline. How can I help you?
No. I just told you what I need help with.
Yes, hello.
Can you help?
Yes, this is helpline.
No. Yeah, I know your helpline, but what I need from you is while you're on the line is to help.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
How can I help?
You see, I need you to listen to what I'm saying. There's murder going on in the mid lane.
Those helplines, huh?
Well, I don't know if Magical needs help. Okay, now he does. The new hero here. All right, helpline worked out by the looks of it. Or did...
Is he gonna get away?
He's not just leaving. He's taking a kill with him. Your
Your
helpline is terrible.
That is one terrible. That is one nasty helpline.
Oh, good lord. They're not done. Magical's just out of control in this game. I thought we were like, Magnus is fine. He'll just farm. The lane will be great. He'll catch up. But no, Magical won't even let that happen. Horn's going to come in. They're going to chase for the kill. The Inkswell coming out. They can turn around to Kellen, who's trying to kill off Slayer. But actually, oh, Kuman. Well, he abandoned him. He went top for a kill. Stun comes out to Magical. Malik left holding his own hands. The toss forward off this kill from Lil. Magical's still alive. In the meantime, Kuman cleans up a kill on the Slayer. Or on the Dairara, rather. And Magical's just, he's gone. Good luck. I dare you. If you blink on him, you die right now. Killer knows it. There is no option here. He's just wandering around and finally realizes there's creeps in the lane to hit, but... Aye. This is becoming a problem quick.
Yeah, and we can see this, like, you see this Sanking, he comes in, he has this level 1 stun, and he gets the stun into Epi, the Tiny just walks it off. We get this nice toss onto the Tiny, so he at least takes some damage from the Epi, but then the Sanking, he just doesn't have any follow-up. The cooldown on the Brutal Strike is still too high.
And this Tiny's not, it's just not stopping. He's relentless.
Yeah, and he also went for this 3 points in counter spell, which is very strange. And that's why he didn't have the blink up there.
Would you assess that he's not effectively countering the spells of
I would assess
Legacy?
that he's not effectively countering them spells. I think it'd be more efficient not being there, you know, by having blink a little bit. But yeah, I mean, the Sanking here, like, he hasn't really had any impact. He had a poor laning stage. This was the last pick of the game where you see everything in this game, and you still decide that you want the Sanking. I'm just can't say
that's
that
your Sanking, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Now, Malak had, I remember that funky TP around attempt to defend the mid in the last game.
Right.
That one is blown out of the water, though. That was on a whole new level of, I want to be participating, guys.
Yeah, it's just very awkward here.
Do we give participation ribbons for this tournament?
I mean, on the upside here, Magnus he's gonna have his Echo Saber. He is farming quite quickly. Like, despite him being 0-2-0 and the Tiny being up 5 kills and 4 assists, he is almost at the same net worth as the Tiny. So, in terms of net worth, he's doing well.
Okay, but let's talk about how that net worth's about to be used, because Magical just got the big shiny item that lets him kill more people.
Yeah, and this is where you kind of have to be afraid if you are Omglil now.
And he's going for the primary target. Kellen, we've already seen he instigates the lead. Moving in, avalanche, toss, swap out. Nicely done, though. Saves the day. Soulbind follow-up. It's going to trap him together. The follow-up damage might be enough to bring him down. They need to last a little bit longer. Swap to ensure they do. And they even dodge out on that throw of the tree. Magical's still moving, though. He's going to get stunned up. They have to stop him from Blink, and they know it. Dairara is going to die. Magical, he's got Blink again. Say hello to Lil. Or not. There it is. Gets in. Avalanche. Pings it out. Says, I need some assistance. But Lil, with the stolen toss, should buy enough time. The Magical... I mean, this is a bit back and forth, but he needs to be careful. The Search will get him out in time, and the Mana Void tickled. Mildly tickled.
Yeah, if that.
But don't worry. Sunlight, your one true boss one is farming in this way. Is it? They have got an anti-mage, haven't they? Oh.
I mean, it's I think it's not the end of the world right now. Of course, things are not looking amazing for Omglil, but they do have this, both the Anti-Mage and the Spectre. They're kind of farming. I mean, Anti-Mage, he's gonna have a pretty not the most amazing timing on his Battle Fury here. I reckon, 16, 17 minutes, maybe something like that.
After the start, I think he'd take it.
Yeah. No, for sure. You take it.
Just don't think about the fact that you're meant to have a Darkseer lane, because then you might be a little bit upset about it. Moving in. Magical's not done. He's finding more. Sunlight is going to be silenced up. Horn's going to come out. He's trying to set up an RP opportunity. He does drag in onto Tiny. They're trying to bring him down. It's worth a lot of gold. He stands his ground and does die, but now the follow-up will work against the side of Omglil as they lose both the Rubik and the Magnus. The epicenter chase down on the Slayer. They're pinging out. They're finally going to kill him, but now what are you going to lose? Dairara throws out the magic missile, but Staple Gun Man is here to play, and he hits pretty goddamn hard. Malik trying to move away. Stomp not even needed. Triple kill for Kuman, and the Spectre is looking a little bit accelerated in this game. It's a tinsy bit.
Yeah, big team wipe there. Not really sure why they decided to take that fight. They definitely still need... I mean, they need a lot of time. I feel like they're playing very much so into Cyber Legacy's hands right now. Not saying that it's easy at this point with the Tiny having his Blink Dagger, you know, Spectre with the Haunt, all the early game items here, the drums, the Yasha, Face Boots, Wristband, etc. He's very strong right now, and yeah, it's not easy by any means. Kind of just avoiding this Tiny altogether, but I feel like they're making it a little bit too easy for Cyber Legacy here.
I mean, it's tough, right? Wherever they show, Magic wouldn't just go kill, as he's proven again in the bot lane. But I think you're right. We saw the prioritization of killing Magic on that fight. But what we just witnessed as well in that big team fight is Kuman is already more or less ready for the passing the baton. It's not about shutting down the Tiny. You already now have to worry about shutting down the Spectre.
Yeah, he went for this very early game centric build with all these kind of small items, and he's almost completed the Manta style, and that's gonna be very, very spooky for this anti-mage. I mean, you know, you kind of want to be on par with the Spectre as anti-mage, like at this point, if not, you know, slightly ahead, but he's so far behind the Spectre now. And once he gets this Manta, it's, you know, it's just 1 second or 2 seconds, and this anti-mage, he dies to this Desolate.
One thing that kind of does work for them is they've got a lot of split pushes, right? So inevitably one of them is going to be sacrificed at least, but you should be able to buy time on the map, right? You can stick like Mag in one lane, Sand King in another, AM in the third, and push.
Yeah, for sure. They have ways. I mean, and there's only this pretty much one Tiny who can be the catcher.
Can be everywhere.
5. Yeah, he can be in a lot of places thanks to this Darkseer here. But losing your Venge is something you don't really mind. I mean, he gets to keep playing with this illusion, and he can keep scouting, and so it's definitely not the end of the world. And at least Anti-Mage is farming, and he now has his Fury.
I think he's actually pinning up a lot of Fury that he wants to unleash eventually in this game. It's just a matter of whether he's going to be able to get there. As you said, at least with the Battle Fury now, like, you should be able to out-farm the Spectre. I say that in theory, really. Like, maybe if you had some big stacks.
The thing is, yes, you can out-farm the Spectre, and I do assume that he is at some point going to catch up, but that kind of is, how much map does he have to play, you know? Just farming is not a thing just by itself, right? It's the fact that Cyber Legacy own a lot of the map in this game, and so Anti-Mage has a limited amount of places he can farm in, and he also has this Magnus and the Sand King kind of trying to take some of his farm, so...
Yeah, not really the game you want a communist lane in. And the problem is, you become predictable. They know you're in this top area because they're patrolling around bot. They try to move in, not able to connect with the smoke. So yeah, you back up successfully as Megalil. It's just a matter of whether you're able to apply pressure elsewhere. Like, Malik is pushing on bot, but he's not a tower sieger. So you won't even get tower gold out of this.
Yeah, they're you know, they're making the net worth. It's kind of leveling out now. It's not increasing, at least. It went from 5 to 4k. It's kind of right there on the edge between 5 to 4k. So they are finding
the Sunlight. RP on the 2 drags him into the tower now, trying to bring them down quick enough. Tiny's going to be low. The ET is going to fall. So they do get 2. The Soulbind should stop the pursuit of any others, and Slayer will just look to TP away. Diarara not able to do anything about it. Finally, Omega Lil able to bite back. That was the big blink reveal from Sunlight.
Yeah, and off the back of that, you know, they get these 2, the kill on the Tiny, of course, being the big one there. But what's more important is that they're gonna buy themselves quite a lot of space now with this Tiny being dead for another 20 seconds. The Anti-Mage is gonna have time to keep farming. And there's definitely signs of life.
Yes.
No, make a little.
They almost got another kill there. It looked like Lil accidentally surged to creep instead, though. So Magnus wasn't able to run down the Darkseer.
Ah.
Definitely getting some impact out of that blink immediately after picking it up, and much needed as well. It's not like your Sand King's blink impact has been noticeable, I want to say. Like, he dished out some damage in that fight, but really, if you're Cyber Legacy, the one you're scared of in this game right now is Sunlight.
Yeah, definitely is. And once this Magnus gets to the BKB, he's gonna be a force to be reckoned with. He can definitely keep scaling, you know, with the Empower on himself.
I like this from Cyber Legacy, though. Like, they kind of looked at him and went, okay, Megalil used, I mean, basically everything. They threw everything in that fight at their tier 2. So this should be more or less a free Aegis. Yeah,
and what better hero to put it on than, you know, Spectre, one of the classic kind of Aegis carriers. So Megalil are kind of poking around trying to see what all this is gonna do is help them kill Roche faster as they use the Wave of Terror.
It's always the awkward part. They know they can just time this between wave of terrors. There's no real opportunity for a swap necessarily. And in fact, they're going to chase in on Dara. Malik jumps in. He jumps in too soon though. Kuman is not able to get the Aegis. Malik actually picks it up, but he's gone down once. And Venge is already dead. Movement in by Sunlight. On to Kuma's going to bring him down though. Now Kellen can move in as well. It does get soulbinded up though. And Tiny's trying to fight. The Horde's going to come in with the buyback from the Spectre. Should give them the win in the fight though. Pretty convincingly by the looks of it. Yeah, used a few heroes, but Sunlight forced to use the RP just to try and run away. But stop. There is no way out. Bignum is here with his staple gun to ensure that you die. But that has even
very nice. I mean, that's you know, Sanking. He's trying to redeem himself for this game. I mean, I'm not sure if he's the one who called for the Sanking pick, but he's basically done, you know. I mean, he has not accomplished a whole lot in this game up until the point where he actually snatched that Aegis. So
that's his justification. He's like, well, this is why I picked it. I mean, maybe there were other heroes that could have done this. Maybe there was different ways we could go, but I've had my impact. I've stunted the growth of Cyber Legacy. They aren't as much of a thorn in our side anymore.
Yeah, and the thing about that fight was, I think that the anti-mage here, he made quite a crucial mistake there, where he decides to leave this bottom lane and pour it into this fight. And yes, while the fight is kind of okay, it's like, you know, he ports in there and he doesn't accomplish anything. The only thing is he blinks into his own death. If instead he then is just pushing this bottom lane, and you know, even if the Spectre he buys back and gets these kills, and you're not in this fight, at least you're still farming and pushing as anti-mage, and that's what you need to be doing now. Because by dying once again, he falls further behind in terms of levels, and yeah, you need he really needs some levels.
Yeah, I think it's that one of those cases of like, you've dented the Spectre's net worth, you force that buyback, and like, you have to imagine these kind of two net worths and how much they scale and differ if you are farming at the same time instead of trying to fight and casually die. Speaking of dying, Diarara will die after their attempt on the Bignum. Soulbind is going to come out onto the illusion, does not connect on the Malik though. Diarara is like, look at me, I'm a happy little camper.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's just one of those classic things that sometimes you see on anti-mage. People just, they want to fight so much, you know, like for no reason. And all you really need to do on this hero is to just keep hitting creeps and keep pushing waves.
It's that
until you are strong enough.
I was going to say, it's that awkward kind of pressure, right? Like when you're behind as well, you feel like you need the numerical advantage to fight at all. But that just isn't the way AM really has ever functioned as a hero for a very long time now.
No, definitely not. And now we're gonna see Kuman. He's queuing up the Radiance here. And this is kind of nice. It's one of those items where you're playing up against these two Blink heroes. Magnus is gonna have his BKB sent out to him. There's gonna be a smoke, but yeah, the Radiance kind of nice against these Sanking and Magnus heroes, as you can cancel the Blink. Also, Radiance kind of nice. Like, it's gonna be very annoying for this Vengeful and Rubik to deal with this Radiant Spectre once he presses Haunt. These two heroes are just gonna, they're just gonna melt.
Oh, this could get dicey. Both teams are smoked and moving towards. I think that Cyber Legacy have realized what's about to happen to the Spectres. They move in. Magical surge forward, avalanche toss straight in onto the AM, but turn around, able to move away. Lift's gonna come up, the Horn's gonna be forced out. Sunlight with the BKB skewering. Look at the RP, does get onto the two. He traps in two targets, is able to bring down the Grimstroke and the Darkseer. 1-for-2 exchange in favor of Omglil so far, but AM is low, needs to run away. Stun comes down to ET in the meantime. Magical moves across and does find the AM kill though. Grimstroke with the buyback. Trying to arrive in the fight in time. Malik is going to be slowed up and dragged in by the ET ult, and that allows Kuman to get the kill. Chase and forth for more. Diarara will be brought down as well. Magnus the only one able to escape. And what started off not looking terrible for Omglil, they survived the initial gank attempt. In the end, it's just becoming the Spectre show again. Ooh, Magic. Ooh. All right, he didn't quite have the toss back opportunity, so Magical not able to find the final kill, but another convincing victory in a fight for Cyber Legacy.
Yeah, and I feel like I really think that this anti-mage is playing this game completely the wrong way. He's also queuing up now this AC, and yeah, I get it, you're up against an Elder Titan, but I mean, he went for this attack speed over the strength talent, and I think that's kind of a mistake when you're playing against a hero like Tiny that has so much burst damage. I feel like he could just go for this, what we've seen recently, like people just buy this Halberd. Sure, there aren't any ranged heroes, and it's not really like an amazing Halberd game by any means, you know, it's not very amazing against Tiny or Spectre. It's just, it gives you the survivability, and you know, all he really needs to be doing in this game is he just needs to survive and keep pushing and farming, and at some point he is going to become this strongest hero in the game.
Sacking initially survived, didn't last much longer though. I think the other thing we're seeing here is, like, no matter what mitigation you try and build on Omglil, this is kind of the power of ET. Like, when you do find a game where ET can work, Tiny feels like one of those heroes that really benefits. Because usually you have this window that can feel a bit small where you can actually find those individual pickoffs. But ET keeps that window alive for a lot longer. Or keeps it open, rather. Lil is able to move away from Magical, though. Looks like they're a little bit discombobulated on their approach. However, the real concern here is... I mean, we talked about Omglil's ability to have this double right-click core lineup. But look at Magical's build. He wants a piece of that pie, okay? He doesn't want to be left out. And the piece of pie that he's going to find is Kellen. It's also onto him. Not enough damage to kill him initially, but the sleep buys enough time that he gets him with his big stick. And they're not done. Lil gets rooted up after the vacuum drags him in. Swap out by Diorara to try and save the life of the captain. And it looks like it should work, as they won't pursue into the base just yet. Or will they? What am I talking about? It's Magical on Tiny. He's going to do it every time. Malik, not able to even hit the stun, has to blink away in a panic.
Yeah, and I feel like, I feel like pretty much the entirety of Omglil, they look like they don't really know what they're doing except for Sunlight here. He's trying to kind of salvage some of this game, but I mean, the anti-mage, I feel like he's farming in the wrong places. He's just going for these, like, there are free waves on the map, but he's stopping at these neutral camps, you know? And it's more important to get these waves shoved out faster.
Yeah,
and
you through
Sanking
your
just showing up and getting caught. Yeah, I mean, they're not playing together. They're very discombobulated.
I feel like that's a fair point to make, right? Like, the choice to maybe not prioritize lane shove-outs has given Cyber Legacy a golden opportunity to lock down, especially this lower side of the map, and move freely between it and top, as they're doing again. This time, however, they might lose someone for it. Slayer, where you going, buddy? Drag down to the tower. Kuman says, no, I ain't giving my life for a 5. And once again, Kellen is trying to fight.
Yeah, you can see, like, from the net worth that, I mean, this is an anti-mage with not even 500 GPM at this moment, when he's... I mean, yes, the start was bad, but he kind of recovered. And I think, you know, just the last 15 minutes or so, he should have just been farming quite a lot, and he hasn't really managed to get anything. Like, he's trailing the Spectre in terms of CS, which is quite unusual. Like, you know, it's one thing to be trailing in terms of net worth, because Spectre can kill a lot of heroes, but anti-mage has...
I think it's the fact that Spectre went for this battle build, that paid off, then went back for the farming focus time Radiance gives you, and is able to keep fine, as they're doing right now. The Horn in, BKB, Sunlight gets the RP, only connects on the Darkseer though, so Kuman's free to chase down, Lil is going to die, and now they can turn around and deal with the Magnus, whose magic immunity is now running out. Avalanche ensures he cannot move away, and the one person who's been holding Omglil in this is starting to fall to pieces. Dead for 70 seconds. AM is finally creep cutting, but... I think someone's coming. With a Daedalus. Ready. Oh, okay. He tried to go into the mine of AM. He's like, he's going to hit creeps. But sadly, those creeps were already gone.
Yeah, I mean, a good idea by Magical there. The execution, you know, slightly leaves you slightly wanting.
Just a little bit. Because the funny part is, even if he hits just the toss, you saw how big that crit is. You saw how easily he can kill the AM.
Yep.
And he's going to go again. Because Kellen's greedy. This boy wants to farm. Instead, he might become the farm, but able to move away with the Manta. And no crits for Magical.
Now for the old razzle-dazzle.
And they will move back in time to defend this tower, looks of it. Blizzy getting low. Mana Void can't kill him, though, so they'll just have to back away. They don't want to bait themselves onto the wrong target here. This is rough. I mean, you're in a situation where you can really see how reliant they are on the Magnus, right? Like, with how split Cyber Legacy is, Omglil do not want to fight. They're trying to dodge at every opportunity.
Yeah, I just think that kind of the position you're in, you put yourself in this position, you know. You did this to yourself.
Yeah. You made your cake with dirt. Now you can consume it. Kuman will look to consume them. Not able to, but don't worry. Guess who's here again? Magical forgot about detection, however. Although the Soulbind, Diorara just baited himself. He ran straight into that. They'll chase forward on Sand King. The Sleep does land. He's able to Burrow Strike it off and move away before he gets screwed over by the Silence. However, Kuman's not stopping. No, he doesn't care wherever he needs to go. He'll go. Horn continues the fight. Buyback forced out of the bench, and the Sand King just shifting around in the fight, trying to confuse them as Kuman will look to move away. If the swap comes out, Magic Missile as well. They're going to burn through his mana, but he can just walk it off. He's way too tanky at this point. Oh, Burrow strike through with the epicenter, not doing enough. And all I'm just seeing is everyone trying to kill Kuman and Kuman saying no. That's not how this goes. RP, Sunlight, he found more vulnerable targets. Mana Void popping him low. Blizzy's going to be brought down. They'll be able to kill off Bignum as well. But still, how do you deal with the rest? Magical just moves in like a madman on fire. Not able to find the kill. Will be able to waddle his way away though, as Kuman is able to cover him and scare them all off. Inkswell to try and move away. He's going to get Magical low, but not able to bring him down. Forest Strike in will finally seal the deal. Kuman just being ignored through the entire fight. We'll turn to Kellen now to bring him down. The Glimmer Cape will not protect him, so AM is dead. But Kuman is now low. Buyback forced out of the anti-mage. Everything for the Spectre.
Oh no,
And they do get it.
No.
Absolutely unneeded buyback.
What are you doing, man?
He just wanted to feel involved.
Stop.
This has literally been Kellen all game long. He wants to feel like part of the team, part of the effort, and it's costing him dearly.
I mean, they managed to eventually kind of win that fight. I mean, the anti-mage, he obviously didn't have to buy back, you know, now he bought back. They can go and get this Roche, you know, he could get this Aegis. And it looks like that's what they're gonna do. The ET is gonna be alive, though, and Spectre doesn't have enough gold, and he doesn't have, you know, he can't buy back, so he's not gonna be in the game for another 90.
And they
so
know
could
about it
potentially
as
get
well.
this Roche.
Because he picked the Eagle song up, right? So they identified that.
Yeah, and Tiny doesn't really want to buy back right now. I mean, so this is gonna be an anti-mage with an Aegis, and so yeah, okay, you know, like, it's okay.
It's a
You
farm
can
Aegis.
say, you can justify this buyback with the Aegis on the anti-mage, but that's also just, I mean, it's just not true. I think that was just very silly for him to buy back there.
All right, he's gonna get the stun out in time to slow us down a little bit.
That's a disgusting pause right there.
Blizzy has awkwardly enough DC'd, apparently, at this very moment when he is in the middle of the enemy team.
I mean, so what they want, they want right now for the anti-mage to kind of blink into this Roche. Oh man, this is gonna end so poorly. The Darkseer, he has Greaves, he's got Yules, he's got a Vacuum. I mean, I could easily see some heroes dying here to Roche or to some illusions.
Yeah, and the only good news I can see Omega Lol in this awkward situation is that the supports are being held up by Diarra on the side. So they can't immediately back up the Darkseer. Also, Tiny is still dead for 5 seconds. So, like, you could try and commit to this to finish the Roche, because I think if you wait even 10 seconds, Tiny shows up and it's the Tiny show again.
Yeah, I feel like, and just like, if it was just that fight, you know, where this long fight, they eventually came out on top, kind of, you know, like the Spectre did go down and everything. It's just, I feel like if the anti-mage doesn't actually buy back there, you're so much happier. You know, you just won this fight. You can get to shove out all these lanes. I think they could have maybe even still done the Roche if they wanted to, or just farmed out the map. And I think you'd be at almost like a close to even net worth, and then just go from there. Now they're forced into this very awkward situation here.
I mean, now you're in a situation where maybe Kellen gets the Aegis, but I could very easily see him instantly lose it.
Yes, or just die before he gets it. I mean, they need the Magnus to take the cheese and pretty much eat it, or something. I mean, this is looking kind of grim here.
And the problem is, if you blink in too soon, like if you do not force the vacuum first, probably don't even get it. You'll just be sucked out of the pit, and then Blizzy could just run on in and just eat whatever he wants. Like, oh, jeez, oh, an Aegis, a whole nice little meal for me? This is the point where, like, Blizzy comes back in and accidentally types G instantly without realizing where he is, so he doesn't formulate any of this. He's like, where am I? How did I... Oh, I didn't mean to be here. There is Lil, though. With the wall.
There's Lil.
But he's already used the lift.
Yes, and who is he going to wall?
Just cover the Aegis. Be safe.
You're gonna save this wall probably for the next fight, and it might prove useful in the next fight. You know, if you get the wall off on Spectre, you get the Radiance, you get this big, strong Spectre illusion. So that could be something, but yeah, I mean, it all kind of just depends on what happens right now with this Aegis and everything.
So you're saying if they take the enemy carry instead via the wall, they could create a winning hero.
This is true.
Well, I don't know if we offer those type of trades. I'm not sure if they're going to get to it. There's just this is one of those beautiful ones where, like, it's beautiful and dirty, right? Like, you want to analyze it. At the same time, you're just kind of very eagerly waiting for the reconnect so that both teams can realize what's going on. and be like, oh.
I feel like you could sit, you could sit here and just, like, yeah, this is gonna happen, and then something entirely different happens,
You just
And
got
then
to
it
choose
just-
two. That's the thing. Like if you bog yourself down with too many ideas, right? It's always going to be wrong anyway. You can never get the right one. So you just
I
do
think-
the 50E, 50E.
Lil, he's gonna take the wall, he's gonna run to the enemy fountain and use it, and then he's gonna type GG and leave.
I'm going back on holiday, guys. Bye.
Going back to the. Did I leave the beach for this?
Then he's like, oh, whoops, is that the day? Oh, well, I actually booked in a second holiday, and I'm going to miss the flight if I stay. You guys have got it from here. I mean, you're an anti-mage and you're a Magnus. Look at you guys. You almost got
Yeah,
roast.
you guys don't know me. Yeah.
Malik also has this awkward situation of not even being able to do anything to
Do you
follow
see
up.
the score on the ET right now?
Oh, is he? Bigdom needs to walk back to base right now.
And also, kind of, if you like reverse some of magical scores, you got the.
Ooh,
You see that?
ooh, yeah.
You switched places on those two.
You're stretching it a bit, but I see it. I see it.
mhm.
It depends how you like. Maybe because some people might call it DKA because they're idiots and they don't know how to
Oh, yeah.
pronounce KDA.
That's true. That's
And
true.
if they do pronounce it DKA, then you have exactly what you're looking for.
Some epic scores.
Right. If we get let's follow this up with our Venge, right? So if we get Venge 11 more kills,
Yeah.
he can.
Then should be 12, 12, and 12.
There you go.
Yeah,
Is there
that'd
any
be real
binary
impressive.
available in this? No, there's no binary available in this game.
I'm thinking it seems a little bit unlikely though that the Venge goes now on an 11 kill spree here. That's just me though.
Darara is just like, you know what? I had enough of this crap. You guys think that you scale great in the late game? Watch this. Blast just blows everyone up. Gets Slayer, goes on and then kills Bignum, ruining his 3-2-2 moment. Doesn't stop there. Goes over.
He just runs to the pit. He just runs to the pit, swaps the mag out. Takes the Aegis.
I tell you, if he right now killed both those supports and Roche was still alive, I think everyone playing that Venge would walk over to the pit, swap out their carry, and take what they are rightly owed. Okay.
It's mine, guys. It's obvious.
If you couldn't kill it in the window it took me to kill these two supports, you don't deserve it. Okay. Oh dear. I'm getting that feeling like we're reaching that point where the unpause could occur. Actually, I just I remembered infinite pauses are not a thing. There is a finite amount of time.
I mean, the question though is, are they gonna be okay with that? Like, I feel like these guys should be, like, mannered enough to not wanna unpause.
But at the same time, Lil came back from holiday for this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He did leave the cushy beach life. How does everyone know this? Or like, why is this a thing? Why do people know that he was at the beach?
I believe the panel was talking about it before. Maybe I think
Okay.
he's got like an Instagram following, so I think he. Like,
Okay.
I don't know why I'm shilling for him right now.
I see.
I just hope the little things that he's displaying on his Instagram are, the right things.
I see.
Maybe he's been working out. Maybe he's beefed up now. He thinks like if his body is toned and ready to carry, he can carry for his team.
Yeah,
Maybe shine a little bit of sunlight on the situation in this game.
Nice.
Maybe that's why he came back. Actually, he's like, the sunlight on the beach, the sunlight in the game. I'm ready because it looks like we're ready to get underway. Blizzy's back.
Let's do it.
He's taken a few moments. He's whipped out the calculator. He's doing the numbers.
I mean, he wants to cast vacuum. That's all.
Thank
That's
you
all he
for
can do.
simplifying the actually not that complicated hero.
Oof, imagine if one of us unpaused right now. They would be so mad.
If only we could.
We can't?
No.
Damn
Do you
it.
think casters have had this power all along?
Huh?
No.
Yeah?
Here we go. Dark's here. Uh-oh. Skewer out. They actually bought. They're going to hand over. Kellen goes in. He gets bashed straight away. No, Blizzy! He picks it up and he kills the AM as well. And all of a sudden, everything has fallen into crapville for Omglil. What the hell was that?
I don't bow to magic.
I'm just going to
Blizzy,
keep
man.
clicking over to sunlight here. Because they didn't seem to be on the same wavelength. He wasn't having any of that. He wanted outie. Oh my god.
God damn, man. He got the Aegis and the cheese, man. How did he do that?
Like, Blizzy done well with that. I'm just still looking at Sunlight with the peace out. Like, see ya, homie. I ain't part of this anymore.
I mean, that's a dead anti-mage. Without buyback, his net worth is just, you know.
I think that's a team coordination dead as well. I don't know. Malik just standing is like, you know, I don't know if I'm setting up for an initiation or if I'm just watching our base die right now. I mean, it's not the final fight at least, right? Because you still got those tier 2s stopping you from getting mega creep. But, my god. What an awkward pause followed by a very awkward finish to the Roche. The Spec's not even here right now. He's buying new things.
Maybe they swap in the tiny and then skewer him to fountain or something. And then like
we're always looking for that. Nope, they go to him, which forced out the horn with the butterfly complete now on Kuman. He's ready to fight with everybody. Happy Dara able to move away though. And it looks like Lil is going to be doing a little bit of horning tonight, as he actually did get the steal. Not really sure it's what you want in a Rubik, but Sand King now in trouble. They decide against it because nobody bothers to bring initial, like, follow-up detection. However, Sunlight with the BKB, the RP in, he only able to steal one away though because the BKB on ET. And all of a sudden the fight's going down. They have dragged in Dara as well as Kuma, but they can't do enough damage. Epicenter through to try and bring down the Spectre, but he's lured through. Instead, the toss forward will get a double kill for Magical. And all of a sudden, with the surge forward on the Sunlight, they're going to force him into his fountain where he will stay. Mana Void, honestly, you wouldn't even think he used it. They'll just walk away. They're like, okay, was that what you got? Because we've got a cheese on Kuman, and if you want to reinitiate, then we're ready to party.
Yeah, I mean, they tried. They got, you know, they got their spells off. Sunlight got a pretty good RP off. The Sand King did manage to get, you know, the Epi. He used Epi, and he went in. But
I'm helping, guys.
It didn't really accomplish all that much. I mean, there's a pipe on the Darkseer. The Spectre is just inherently very tanky because of the dispersion. She also went for the plus 5% dispersion talent, and now she also has the cheese. And yeah, I mean, they did what they could. You saw, like, the anti-mage, he went in and he was trying to hit the Spectre with the butterfly and the radiance. He's up at what, 35% evasion. I think he tried to get one hit off, then he tanked one punch from, I'm not sure if it was the ET or some illusion, and then he was half health and had to leave the fight.
Yeah, no, he was outy at that point. I mean, they couldn't even lock down the ET with his newly crafted Ag. Well, I say newly, like, it wasn't that recently. He just picked up a Hyperstone as well. Bignum says, move over carries. I think there's room for a third on the team.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's got that Ags, you know. He's got the magic immunity. He's ready to go in.
He's a clubber.
And do some swinging. He's got the 100% cleave talent. You know?
So Kellen's last-ditch effort to get what he needs has failed. The courier has been killed. He could go for the secret shop. And yeah, he is going to buy out the Skadi. Not really any other choice for him. Buyback's still on cooldown for 3 minutes. And to be honest, that last fight is coming. And it's likely to occur before 3 minutes pass at this rate. They do not slow down Kuman's push. They're pinging him.
If they try to kill this victim, this is going to backfire.
Here we go.
Gonna die, I think.
You know it's coming. Starting out, Epicenter being charged up. He's got the cheese though, and I don't know if you got the damage to finish him off in time. Mana Void, yes!
Wow.
Just about with the Veiled and the Skadi to stop any sort of chance of a turnaround. They get it, and meanwhile on the base, Tiny's been found with the RP, but now the vacuum with the wall coming out. Magic with the BKB turns to find the Sunlight, but no, he can't use the skewer to get away the toss. It interrupts him. The fight back with the horn in is able to get the big kill on the Magnus and Kuman. He says, that's it, I've had enough of these guys. All right, that was everything. They thought they were smart. They thought they were better than me. But now I have a cheese, I have full health, and they have nothing left in the chamber. However, Magical, he's baiting himself here. He goes in, as a result, will be brought down, and Kuman has to do all the work on his own. He turns onto Lil, will be able to bring him down. The split off to set up the fight, and split it up as well. Gets Malik away from Kellen, and Kellen needs an out, but does get hit by the Inkswell, and the damage follow-up will kill him off, and surely end the game there.
Yeah, they managed to kill the Spectre there. I really didn't think they were going to, but they get him. But after that, just immediate buyback from Spectre into Haunt, and the game is just done. And I think, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed in both the anti-mage and the Sand King's play here. I think Omglil had a pretty good draft up until her 5th pick.